Welcome back. I'm going to be painting our sunflowers now. I showed you the color mixtures laid out on my palette. And these are the yellows, are mixes of cadmium yellow medium, plus this duller mixture is cadmium yellow medium plus a little bit of mud. My mud is 2 parts of ultramarine blue and 1 part of alizarin crimson. And I've mixed that into my cadmium yellow medium. And then for the lighter one, I've mixed in a little bit of white. And that just dulls the yellow a little bit because I want these sunflowers in the background to not be as bright. They're going to be cooler than the yellows in the foreground. And this will make them fall back down over that hill. And I'm going to let these, let me mix a little more white into this. These going in behind the palm trees up close to the house, I'm going to make a little bit lighter so that the light is hitting up here by the house, and then these will be darker. So that gives us kind of some layers, helps give the feeling of depth and distance in the painting. And these kind of pop up. I'll let them pop up between those, the palm fronds coming down, and I'm going to, actually those palm fronds, the ones that are lighter here, I'm going to make them darker so that you see the yellow coming through. And let's make this one a little bit darker. There we go. And the light will pop back here because it's really hitting on this villa. I want your eye to go back here to the villa. To be a little bit darker there. But I just kind of mishmash the colors together. I want a lot of variation in these colors. I don't want just solid yellow. I want different values and hues, different shades. And now as we come back down over the hill, I want the sunflowers to become darker because that field of lavender is lighter back there. So I want this to be a little bit darker. I'm adding a little bit of orange into there. And then I start just working progressively forward. This painting is going to a collector who lives in Germany. She's coming to visit her sister in the United States for a couple of weeks. And she's going to carry the painting back on the plane. So it needs to be totally, completely dry so that she can wrap it. You know, with 9/11 and everything, there's just a lot of regulations now about carrying stuff on the plane, and size is very limited. So we're going to have to wrap it very closely to fit in the overhead compartment. So I want it to be completely dry. Therefore, I'm using alkyd oils. They mix exactly like regular oil, except they dry quicker. And so that's using that. And if you're interested in getting some of these, they're made by Winsor Newton. Here's the white. It's Griffin Alkyd. It's Winsor Newton Griffin Alkyd, fast drying oil color. Comes in the same colors as your regular oils. There's alizarin crimson. And you can just use these in place of regular oil paints. It's like if you're doing a show and you need to get a painting done quickly, or you have a commission you need to get done quickly, just use alkyd oils. They dry a little too quickly for me to use regularly, but in special instances, believe me, I use them. So as we come forward, I've drawn some of these sunflowers in because I do want the field of sunflowers ends right here, and we're going to have poppies and white daisies. So these flowers I kind of drew in, sketched in what the some of the flowers just to get a feel for the positioning of the individual flowers. You see I'm using even some mix of lemon yellow plus my cadmium yellow medium. But I add variation. I bring some oranges into that. I like my sunflowers to have little reds in them and a lot of color, a lot of happy color. I get these established, and then the ones in between, then I can start making the heads smaller as they go back. The alchids, you can get a lot of texture, and it's really great because they're going to dry quickly, so I don't have to worry. I don't have to paint thinly. I can just let these flowers be as textured and as thick as I want to, which is really nice. I like my paintings to have enough texture that if I have a friend who's blind and she loves to feel a painting. And if if a painting occasionally gets felt by somebody, it's not going to be the end of the world. And Diane just loves to feel the texture of the flowers, and so that's something that I just really like to have in my paintings. I'm going to let one of these come down behind the poppies. But what I'm going to have to do is, and I'll do more of this when I do the leaves, but I'm going to scrape these down so that transition is smooth, so that I can paint the poppies over it. And I'll do that when I put my greens in too. Now notice that I'm wiping my brush a lot, and that rattle you hear is just my tissue. I've got it on a wire hanging off of my palette, and that's what you hear, that rattling. But the secret to nice, pretty colors on your canvas is to have a clean brush. You can see with this bright brush, I can use the corner of the brush to make smaller brush strokes. Or I can use the flat edge to make it bigger. The sunlight's coming from the upper right. And these are kind of turning down. Those heads get heavy, particularly after it's rained, and they kind of droop. And now I start just bringing my color back. I use my warmer, brighter yellows and oranges in here. As I go back, then I start using the more muted colors that have a little bit of mud mixed in. See, even though they're yellow, you can see how they're starting to go back now that I'm getting the brighter yellows in the foreground. I'm going to pop some of my oranges in here. Just a little more. This is orange plus cadmium red light. Let me add a little cadmium yellow medium into this. And this just gives us, again, a brighter, deeper yellow-orange. Go through these little tubes pretty quick when I'm working on painting. But this is a brighter orange. It just gives us some extra variation of color in there. This is even some few little strokes of cadmium red light. Just add some warmth and bring those colors forward. Bring the flowers forward. So that's how I block in the blossoms initially. This will be continued where I show how I put the foliage in. So come and watch part 2. If you'd like to see the rest of this painting, how I did the villa and everything, please visit my blog. The link is in the description below. It's also on the final frame of the video, the address is. And you can subscribe to my blog and you'll get an email every time I make a new post. You can also subscribe to my YouTube videos. So, come watch part 2.